Hello and welcome to CadenCenter. It's time for another This Week in Sports. Today I'll be talking about LeBron James chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record, the Super Bowl, and the Kyrie Irving trade rumors as trade season is heating up in the NBA ahead of the February 9th deadline. But we will start with the king chasing history, LeBron James. He is now just 38 points away as of Saturday from the all-time scoring title for the regular season. He already passed Kareem in regular season and playoff points all-time, but we just kind of focus on the regular season as the big one. He's going to hit it either Tuesday against the Oklahoma City Thunder or Thursday against the Bucks, which is on my birthday, and I'm going to be at the game, so definitely not biased in saying I hope he doesn't score 38 against the Thunder on Tuesday. But really, obviously, the record's historic's been held for nearly 40 years, and what LeBron's doing at such a old age is impressive, but it also brings up for a lot of people the GOAT debate on whether him passing Kareem makes him the greatest player of all time. Obviously, we have this Jordan versus LeBron debate all the time. And I think while it's fun to do that sometimes, we also have to appreciate what LeBron is doing. The chances that we'll see his record broken are pretty low. Obviously, we have some young stars that look great, but it takes such a combination of longevity, injuries that cause you to miss multiple years or end your career. You're always with a good situation where you can score and you're just so dominant like LeBron has had since he's a teenager to now when he's nearly 40 years old. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, and we definitely should appreciate it as he does pass Kareem this week and not just focus on LeBron versus Kareem, LeBron versus Jordan, all that stuff. But now as we move on to someone who could be LeBron's teammate by the end of the week by the time he passes Kareem, that's Kyrie Irving. Kyrie has once again requested a trade for I think maybe the third time since he's been in Brooklyn and probably like the 10th time in his entire career. And 4 teams have emerged as suitors. The original reports were just the Mavs, Lakers, and Suns looking to go after him. But now this evening we've heard the Clippers are trying to make an offer. So I'm just going to go through each team's projected offer, what people think they're giving, give my take on it, and give what is the best for the Nets to do, because they have said they want to make a trade that still keeps them in contention, which is obviously tough to do when you're giving up Kyrie Irving. But we have to stay realistic. There won't be any ridiculous trades that tank the Nets or anything like that, because they do still have Kevin Durant and they do still want to win. Starting with the Mavs offer, it's probably would be Spencer Dinwiddie, Christian Wood, and 2 first-round picks. I've heard some people saying there maybe is a world where they keep Christian Wood, but I don't think the Nets are calling the Mavs and not offering Wood. Wood is probably their second best player. Obviously, you're not going to get Luka. You have to at least get their second best player. Obviously, the 2 first-round picks. And also, I was thinking that the Mavs would maybe throw in Dorian Finney-Smith. I know he recently got a contract extension. He's a good 3-and-D wing, something I'm sure the Nets wouldn't mind having. And I think the Mavs offer is the most intriguing for how the Mavs would look, how they would look compared to how other teams would be shifted by getting Kyrie, because Luka and Kyrie, that's a lot of offense, very little defense, and if they do give up Finney-Smith, like I think the Nets may ask for, then your best perimeter defender is gone. Obviously, they do still have Tim Hardaway Jr., who has a big enough contract that he could maybe throw into this deal, but I don't see the Nets seeing him as a good fit because they already have guys who play that shooter specialty role like Seth Curry and Joe Harris. I think it'll be interesting. Obviously, Mark Cuban needs to start building a championship caliber team around Luka Doncic, which they don't have right now. Whether the Nets think that Spencer Dinwiddie and Christian Wood and those picks that probably won't be worth much are worth for Kyrie, I don't know. Obviously, they don't have too much leverage, but we'll see. Moving on to a team that's been rumored since this summer to get Kyrie, and when Kyrie's a free agent this summer, they'll be probably rumored again no matter where he goes, unless he signs an extension, of course, and that's the Lakers. Now, their offer would obviously be centered around Russell Westbrook. We know they want to get rid of him. Nobody likes him. I don't really like the way he fits in with the Lakers either. So that offer would probably be Russell Westbrook, and then you have to throw in some young guys. And I think this is the difference. This will give the Lakers a slim chance of getting Kyrie. Last season, when we were talking about this in the summer, they didn't have as many young guys on the team. The team was so old. You had Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard. Those guys weren't movers in a trade. But now the Lakers have guys they could throw in like Lonnie Walker, who's having a pretty good season before he got hurt. Austin Reeves, who's also hurt right now, but was playing very well. Rookie Max Christie, who's proven he can already be a rotational guy in his rookie year. And of course, they have those 2027 and 2029 first-round picks that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers front office has seemed to be hesitant to give. However, I do think they need to give it. Kyrie and LeBron, they already won a championship. If the Golden State Warriors didn't form the greatest team of all time, they probably would have won multiple championships. There's no reason not go out there. Yes, you have to give up one or two young pieces. Oh, well, Russell Westbrook is addition by subtraction, if you will. And those picks, they're eighth graders right now. I don't care about them. It is LA. You're going to get other stars coming in. You're always going to have a star wanting to come in free agency. You don't need to necessarily build through the draft as if you're a small market. And in this deal, there's also rumors of the Nets throwing in Joe Harris or Seth Curry to make contracts worth. I don't think the Lakers will be able to get away with getting Seth Curry. That would be an absolute steal, and they'd be almost fleecing the Nets at that point. And again, the Nets want to have a team after this trade that they still think in their minds can win a championship. But Joe Harris, that is someone who is a possibility. His contract isn't the greatest. Obviously, he's a shooter. That's what you want with LeBron. You want shooters. Joe Harris can run around screens, sit in the corner, sit at the top of the key, and hit threes at a 40% clip. Not much else you can ask for. So like if this does happen, I don't think it's too realistic that the Lakers get Kyrie. I like to dream myself, but if the Nets front office still has to keep their jobs, and I don't know if taking on Westbrook is a good idea, especially giving Harris or Curry other valuable assets. But there is two more Pacific teams that want Kyrie Irving, and we'll start with the Phoenix Suns, who were rumored to get Kyrie and also even maybe KD this past offseason, and we're going to go through it again. And the main deal I'm hearing is a Chris Paul for Kyrie center deal. Now, Chris Paul has been brutal this season. He's still, I think tonight I saw a stat line. He scored 2 points, 14 assists on 0 for 7 shooting. The Nets don't want that. Yes, CP3 will still get 10 plus assists, but you'd like a point guard that could score and that isn't struggling, holding you back like Chris Paul kind of is for the Suns this season as he's showing some decline. So I think if the Suns really want to get this deal done, they'll have to throw in DeAndre Ayton, who they recently extended, or even Mikal Bridges. And I just think if the Nets actually do a deal where they don't get one of those two or both of them, Ayton and Bridges, I mean, they're young guys. Ayton has the potential to be a star big man. Bridges, maybe the best 3-and-D guy in the league. I think he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. And then they throw in their first two first-round picks. That is a deal where what you're getting back actually matches the star value that Kyrie Irving has. I know Kyrie has a lot of baggage, but he's still good. He's averaging like 27 points per game this season. He can win a championship. He has experience. So I think this is one of the few deals that teams are offering. If they do offer Ayton and Bridges, the Nets ask for them, that it would be even. Otherwise, like I said, just a deal for Chris Paul and picks. I think that would be a fleece for the Suns, and I'm not sure the Nets would want to do that. As we move on to the final team, like I said, just a couple hours ago, we found out they were in the running. It's the Clippers. And I am puzzled as to how they're in the running or whether the Nets like the deal, because going through the projected offers of what they have to offer, the rumors have been Luke Kennard, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, and their 2028 first-round pick. The Clippers can only trade that one first-round pick because if you remember when they traded for Paul George, they gave away all those picks to Thunder. Obviously, have the rule, can't trade 2 first-round picks in consecutive years. So they're stuck with only that one to offer. And there's just no way this deal goes through. I understand it adds a lot of depth to the Nets, but with how good the league is and how much parity there is, there's no way you can just run a Kevin Durant and friends team, if you will. I understand Kennard, a great shooter. Powell, a great scorer. He's a decent defender. Terrence Mann, a young and up-and-coming guy, but he's not going to become a superstar or anything. Now, if the Clippers maybe add a guy like Robert Covington, another good defensive guy, Nicholas Batum or Markieff Morris, 2 role guys, but the one piece that I think would maybe even make this trade somewhat make sense for the Nets is if they get Ivica Zubac, and then maybe you have a Zubac-Claxton type thing, a 1-2. You try to, just dominate bigs off the bench. But I don't know, obviously, if the Nets want to end up doing that, especially with the way Claxton's playing. But Zubac may be more reliable than Claxton in the playoffs because Claxton cannot hit a free throw. So that would be interesting to see if that does happen. Obviously, as a Laker fan, I hope it doesn't happen. And I just don't see a world where Kyrie Irving, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard will be able to team up with a trade. We'll have to see how it goes because, like I said, the Nets could end up taking a bad trade because they have no leverage. It's either trade Kyrie Irving now and get value back or let him walk in the summer. And trading him to a Western Conference team that they wouldn't have to face until the finals doesn't really matter. What do they care if the Clippers beat the Lakers because they traded them Kyrie? What do they care if the Mavs make the finals? Because they're not going to face them until that late part of the season. So a fleece could happen here. A bad trade could happen here. We'll have to see, and we'll know by the end of the week because, like I said, the deadline is February 9th, this Thursday. So we will see where Kyrie lands, or if he stays and the drama in Brooklyn continues like it has been all these years. And now we move on to the NFL and the final game of the season, of course, the Super Bowl, aka the Kelsey Bowl, aka the Andy Reid Bowl. There's a lot of connections here between the two teams. And I'm just here to give my predictions, break the game down. And I feel like the biggest storyline of this game is the Eagles' elite defense versus the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes' offense. We know Mahomes may be bothered by the ankle. It didn't seem to affect him too much in the AFC Championship game, but you never know. 2 weeks, playing off and playing on it, resting it may make it better or worse. And we also knew Travis Kelce's back acted up the last practice before the AFC Championship game. So you got to hope they're 100% if you're a Chiefs fan. If they are, I'm going to assume everyone's 100%. You get these 2 weeks off. I think the Chiefs offense can barely overcome the Chiefs defense. And that would be because, the Eagles defense. That would be because the Chiefs defense may be able to show up despite, on paper, they're not the best because of Philadelphia's inexperience in some skill positions. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, those type of guys, they haven't been in a Super Bowl. And I understand that, yes, they have won 2 playoff games already, but those 2 playoff games were not statement wins by any means. You were playing the New York Giants led by Daniel Jones, who had a very easy first-round matchup because of the Vikings and Kirk Cousins' struggles. They didn't really prove themselves. And then you had the 49ers with their 4th-string quarterback. So I just can't buy into the Eagles, and the only way I guess I'll be able to buy in is if they win this Super Bowl. But I don't think they will because they're inexperienced. Patrick Mahomes' magic. I know he wants ring number 2. I know he wants to keep building that legacy because he's done so much, and he only has 1 ring to show for it. I know he wants more and more. I know Travis Kelce wants more and more. And I think that Philly down the line will get another shot, but this year it's the Chiefs' time to shine. They've worked through so many injuries. I think they'll put it all together and take home a victory, 24-20. And just for fun, I'm going to try to predict the Super Bowl MVP. And I think it'll be Travis Kelce as he'll rack in 2 touchdowns and go for 110 receiving yards. Obviously, Mecole Hardman won't be playing, so that means more targets to Kelce. There is a possibility Juju Smith-Schuster has a big game. We know there's a lot of guys that Patrick Mahomes can help go off. But I think Travis Kelce, if the Chiefs want to win, like I think they will have to go off. But I will have to see this Sunday. It'll be a great game. And yeah, we'll see who takes it all home. That is all for this week in sports. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.